everyone, my name is Nigel Ward from WisuAlarm, and we've got great pleasure to being back here in the NEC this year. I would like to give you a quick overview of our products. First of all, behind me here we've got our core mains products. Those that you are in the know with the domestic products, you can see on the top here we've got two smoke alarms that look very similar to each other. The innards of those alarms are exactly the same. One is a D1 product. Those of you in the know with D1 will know that that's a sealed for life battery, mains powered device with a rechargeable battery for standby. And the other device is a D2, which is for new builds, where it's a user replaceable 9-volt battery. So it's up to the user to replace that. The heat alarms to the right there, these two here, exactly the same. They've got exactly the same innards. And again, the only difference between the D1 and D2, D1 has a rechargeable battery, and the D2 has a user replaceable battery. Normally, the mains alarms have a hardwire interlink. The mains connection is a 3-core plus earth, and that fourth cable would be the interlink. So you press or one alarm gets triggered, they all get triggered. With more technology in place to have data going up to a cloud, you may want to have RF. And for that, for our mains products only, we have a wireless interconnect RF module. It's only required for the mains with that option. So if you require, rather than a hardwire interlink, you can have the RF. And you have RF modules placed into the devices and you pair them together. Once you have that RF signal, then you're able to use a gateway. Here's our mains powered gateway. Also has a rechargeable battery backup. So especially for landlords where they may have installation in communal areas, you wouldn't want to have broadband, you wouldn't want to have the high risk of power cuts and not receiving your data. So this has Ethernet, it also has Wi-Fi, but it has the important addition where you can have a SIM card. So in the event of a power cut, up to 3 months, this device will stay running with SIM card and battery power, so you'll still be able to monitor all the networks. Right, the last device, which is a new one for us, is a wireless interconnected relay. We'll have two relays, similar to the other devices here. Both will be mains, but one will have an RF frequency to connect to these alarms, or it will be a hardwired version to connect to the hardwired interlink. So what's this for? This enables this domestic network, the BS5839 Part 6, which this is compliant with. This will enable to speak to Part 1 commercial systems and link in. So if these alarms go off in a domestic property, they will go to a commercial fire panel and inform those that are monitoring that a single domestic flat has an issue. Right, so we spoke about when we were looking at the mains products, RF interlink. So now moving on to more products that are battery only. All of these products are within the British standard BS5839 Part 6 for the domestic side. So they are tamper-proof, lithium battery powered for the 10-year life that we have the products for. So a little bit of an overview of these products. First of all, the F1 products. So here we've got smoke and heat. They have inbuilt RF signals, so there's no additional module required, and they interact by pairing with our simple system that we have to set up. Many residents are maybe of an age or not have the ability to test the alarms conveniently. Many ceilings are far too high, so in order to do that, they end up, which we don't want and they don't really want to have, is use either a broomstick or worse still, go up onto steps and the risk of falling. So up here we have a control unit, battery powered, so again no inconvenient power cables required. That monitors the whole system. You can carry out a test from that location. If there's a fire event or a CO event, that will separately inform you which event has happened. The device can be taken off, put by your bedside table, and it will inform you if there's an event where it is. Also has a locate function, so you can press that locate button in the event of an alarm going off, and it will silence all alarms except the initiating alarm, which is great. Then you've got an idea where that stems from. So a very handy device to have. It also indicates if there's a fault within the system, and it can be permanently located at a convenient height suitable for the resident. Going on to the other device, which is on the top left, we have two models. This is the upper model. It's a CO, carbon monoxide indicator. You'll notice that we don't have any mains. There's no regulation saying that you have to have a main CO device. And the rules are rather restricted for CO devices where they can be located. So this is easily fitted in the best location. Broadly, it has to be located 1 to 3 meters from a fuel burning device, and being mobile and battery operated, you can locate it perfectly in that location. This particular model here has the added benefit that it gives you temperature, and it also gives you relative humidity measurements. You will have seen in the local news that landlords and their tenants, there's often issues with mold and damp. So it's beneficial for the landlord to have information about damp. So below there we've got a small device, very competitively priced, which is an environmental sensor that can be located exactly where you believe you may have a damp issue, and that will give you constant figures. And you can monitor that over time. So it could be the time of year or even the time of day. You could have a tenant that is most probably also at fault to a degree because they're being, especially in this day and age, where heating is an issue. So the damp may be caused because there's not enough heating. This device gives that information back to the landlord so that if there's anything there, they've got really a true guide of what's going on in the property. A new device that we're about to have come out here is a strobe and pad. So let's say I haven't got great hearing myself, but if I was completely deaf, in the event of a fire, especially if I'm asleep at night, how on earth would I know that something's going on? So this particular device, it can also, similar to the control unit, identify the difference between a heat or fire, smoke caused issue and a CO. In the event of any trigger, this will start flashing an LED high intensity strobe, and more importantly, if I'm asleep, I put this vibrating pad under the pillow and it will certainly wake me up to inform me I need to get out. Equally, we have another gateway here. Now, this is powered by DC voltage. Unlike the Pro version, the moment the power is killed, you don't have any signal to receive. But there's quite a price difference in this. But this device allows all the communication along with the mains alarms. It has either Ethernet or Wi-Fi connection to easily connect everything. You can see here there's an app we have, so you can be on holiday abroad, wherever, and you can have that piece reassurance that you can open your app and you can see on your app that you've got things like the battery power's working, everything's working, or if there is an issue, it will flag up immediately to you. You'll see the standalone products. These are really for retail. One thing that I haven't forgotten, but it's most probably the most important thing that I want to talk about, and that's around our smoke alarms. All our smoke alarms have the same technology in every single device that we have on show. So in addition, I mentioned about false alarms. One of the triggers are from steam or from fine dust. And this usually happens, about people complain it'll be 3 o'clock in the morning, or they've just had a shower, they come out, there's a burst from the bathroom to a smoke alarm in the landing, and it will set it into a false alarm state. So what we have to eliminate that, we have what's called split spectrum technology, where we have extra components in the smoke alarms that can detect for this type of scenario. So it helps reduce that. And one last thing I want to talk about on the RF side. is that unique, I believe, for us is that what is annoying when the alarms go off, how do I silence them very quickly? So you can either just touch the test button, but as I mentioned earlier, you either, depending where they're situated, it's very difficult to get to them. With ours, it's great because any working RF remote that you may have, like a TV remote, as long as it's working, you can literally grab one of those, press it towards the alarm, doesn't matter which button it is, but you press it and it will silence that alarm. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Have a good day.